Good day, everyone. Today, I want to speak about something that sits at the heart of our country's pain, something we can no longer whisper about, postpone, or wrap in political language. Gender-based violence is not a statistic. It is not a headline. It is not a campaign slogan. It is a national wound, one that continues to bleed every single day. And if we are honest with ourselves, we know this. South Africa has more than a crime problem. South Africa has a system problem, because you cannot protect women with broken institutions. You cannot build safety on top of corruption. You cannot claim progress while women are dying in their own homes. And that is why, if we truly want change, we must begin with the foundation. I'll provide 6 simple but effective steps required to combat gender-based violence. Step 1. We need to see the problem clearly. Right now, we fight violence while blindfolded. Dockets go missing, patterns go unnoticed, households cry for help, and no one hears them. Survivors walk into police stations and leave with nothing but fear. So the very first step, the simplest step, is to digitize the entire policing system. Every case, every protection order, every incident, every forensic record, captured, timed, mapped, connected. Because the moment we can see the data, we can see the hotspots, we can understand the patterns, and we can intervene before tragedy strikes. Using AI to detect risk, using geospatial tools to map danger, using technology not as a luxury, but as a shield. That is where safety begins. Step 2, connect the front line. Our shelters. Our shelters are doing heroic work, often quietly, often alone. But silence is not structure. We need a centralized system that links shelters with police, with social workers, with nurses, and with the communities they serve. A system where survivors don't get lost between departments. A system where shelters can call for help and actually receive it. A system where we can track capacity, resources, and urgent needs in real time. Because when shelters are isolated, women are isolated. But when shelters are connected, women are protected. Step 3. Understand the real battlefield, the home. Most femicides don't happen on the street. They happen behind closed doors. So if we truly want prevention, we need research, not assumptions. We need to study what makes a home unsafe. We need to recognize early warning signs. We need to understand which interventions save lives. Prevention begins long before the police arrive. It begins in the patterns we've ignored for decades. Step 4. Fix the institutions meant to protect us. This part is uncomfortable, but it is true. You cannot fight GBV with corrupt officers. You cannot protect women in a mafia state. You cannot save lives when shelters are broke and politicians are eating the money. Real change requires institutional change. We need independent oversight, ring-fenced funding, consequences for negligence, bribery, and case interference. Leadership that values life more than loyalty. If the system is rotten, the outcomes will always be rotten. Fix the system and we fix the future. Step 5. Transform the culture. Starting with men. Technology helps, policy helps, data helps, but long-term safety grows from the soil of our communities. We need life orientation programs that teach boys about respect, consent, empathy, and emotional intelligence. We need fathers who model love, not violence. We need mentors for boys growing up without father figures. We need communities that break the cycle where children learn abuse by watching abuse. Generational curses are not magical, they are learned, which means they can be unlearned. If we want to change the future, we must raise a generation of men who know how to love, not harm. Finally, step 6, where everything works together, or nothing works at all. True safety is not one thing. It is an ecosystem, a digital police force, integrated shelters, household research, institutional reform, community education, cultural transformation. When these pieces connect, women are safe. When they don't, women carry the cost. And the cost has been far too high, for far too long. A new beginning. We stand at a moment where protests speak, but systems remain silent. Where voices rise, but structures stay the same. It's time to build something different. Not with slogans, not with declarations, but with reconstruction, insight, technology, accountability, and heart. Because when we fix the system, we protect the women. When we protect the women, we strengthen the families. When we strengthen the families, we rebuild the nation. This is where real change begins. Thank you.